Hi there, I'm Kevin from stropro.com, and today I'm going to show you the Godox Movelink wireless microphone system. So this is a transmitter-receiver set for your microphones, and it also has a built-in microphone on the transmitter, which is really handy sometimes, and that's what I'm using today to record this video. There are two kits available. There's the M1 kit and the M2 kit. The M2 kit comes with two transmitters and one receiver, and it also has another trick up its sleeve. That's the one I'm going to show you today. Both have the same basic accessories. For example, they both come with lav mics for the transmitters, but let's open this M2 kit and see what's inside. So unique to the M2 kit is the thing I'm most excited to show you, which is this unique little charging dock here. So there's a USB-C port on the end, and as you'll see, we've got two transmitters and a receiver inside here, and they all charge off of that same USB slot. Now, the individual pieces, they do have their own USB-C slot. I'm not sure if you can see that there, but you can charge them separately. And in fact, you can deliver power to them over USB while you're using them if you want. So I have one of the transmitters here to show you the next thing it comes with. So the M2 kit's going to come with two of these little dead cat windscreens, one if you've got the M1, and basically it just clips right onto where the built-in microphone is. So if you're using it like I am right now, you could use this little windscreen, which is going to be really useful on a really windy day. So I'm just going to find this little rubberized piece here, which lines up with the microphone, and just click it in like that. And it is a little tricky to get off, but I'm just going to bend it this way, and it does come off reasonably easily. Next up, we've got this little box here, which comes with the lavalier mics as well as the 3.5mm audio cables. I've got a stereo TRRS cable here, and the red one has an extra pole, which is used on some smartphones. So you've got a couple options for the receiver there, and I'm going to have my two lavalier mics. So again, if you want to hide your microphone, this is one of those little microphones on a wire. You can run it up your shirt, try to tape it out of the way. We do have this little pull strap, which you can use to attach to the charging dock. Maybe that makes it a little easier to pull out of your bag. And last but not least, we do have some USB-C cables. In this kit, there are 3 of them, so you could charge them separately if you want, but you can also, again, plug directly into this little docking port and then charge all 3 at once. However, there is no charge brick that comes with this, so you would have to use your own or just plug it directly into your PC if you want. And actually, I stand corrected, there is one more little piece here. There's these little magnetic stickers. So if you want to be able to just put a microphone on something metal, this gives you a really convenient way of doing that. Now let's explore the physical features and controls on the transmitter and receiver. Just looking at them from this angle, they're really hard to tell apart. But I have the transmitter here, and we can tell when we flip it around, we can see the built-in microphone, and we also have an audio in 3.5mm, and you can use that with the lavalier mic or any microphone with a 3.5mm jack. Next up, we have the receiver, which has an audio monitoring jack, that's 3.5mm as well, and the audio out, which would go to your camera or recorder. As I mentioned before, these can be charged separately via USB-C, and you've got the port right there on the transmitter, same spot on the receiver. Now, if I want to turn the transmitter on, I've got the power button right here. I just need to hold that for a moment. And you can see this little welcome screen. One thing that's great about these is they have a little indicator light here. So when it's orange, that means it cannot find the other unit, whether it's the transmitter or receiver. In this case, the receiver. So if I turn on the receiver, power button is in the same place. See the welcome screen again. Now you see that light turns blue on both devices. Now, if your units are not paired right out of the box, you will see a button that says pair, and I'm just going to press and hold that. And you see it's blinking, it's looking for another receiver. So if you wanted to connect to a different receiver, you could do that. I'm just going to press and hold the pair on the receiver as well. And there we go, you see we're blue again. Now the transmitter really has no controls other than that pairing button and the mute button, which is located under the power button here. So if I press that, we're going to see the microphone is X'd out, and then I can press that again to turn it back on. And that could be really useful in some scenarios, just to be able to mute one mic, particularly if you've got both linked up. But that may not be a major concern for reasons I'll get into in a moment. I have our receiver here, and you see the screen shut off there. That happens after a couple of seconds on both the transmitter and the receiver, just saves some power. You can still see it, it's just much dimmer. Now, the pair button on the side, if I'm on the receiver and I just tap that, that's gonna switch my audio between stereo and mono. So if you have a stereo compatible microphone, you can leave it in stereo, and then you're gonna get action in both your left and right channel. Now, the interesting thing is, if I bring in a second transmitter here, and let's turn that on, and that's already paired up. Now, I've got one transmitter going into the left channel and one going into the right channel. That's the default behavior when you are in stereo mode on the receiver. So if you're using a stereo microphone, you need to be using just one receiver to be able to take advantage of that. But being able to have one audio track go into left and the other into right is really useful, because if you have two people mic'd up, one might be much quieter than the other, you can treat those audio tracks separately in post-production. And I like that it just works that way automatically, because it's just common sense. On the same side as the power button on the receiver, we have a plus and a minus here. That allows us to adjust audio levels at the receiver. And if I press up and down, we are bringing the A and B up by the same amount. I haven't figured out a way to adjust A and B independently, but I don't think that's necessarily a big deal. Most of the time when you're using these, you're going to have both of your transmitters mic'd up very similarly. And you also have the audio monitoring jack that I mentioned, and that is really useful, especially with these wireless transmitters and receivers, which, you know, can disconnect every once in a while, though I must say this one has been very reliable for us so far. I would probably tend to rely more on that audio monitoring jack than the levels that you see displayed here. They seem to lag a little bit, so I don't find them particularly useful, to be completely honest, but they did include that, so that's nice. At least you can see when your mic is picking something up or not. So yeah, that's literally it actually. Those are the controls. I did say these were easy to use, and I wasn't kidding. It's just very plug and play. Just pair them up and control the levels if you need to, and you're good to go. So there you have it, guys, the Godox Movelink system. Again, this is the M2 kit, which I just find really convenient because of this little charging dock. But you can also just get the M1 if you want, and you'll just have one transmitter and one receiver. It's just a really nice system to travel with either way. It takes up almost no space in your bag. I really like the common sense features that Godox built into this thing, the easy pairing, the split channel audio, USB-C for everything. It just very much seems like a 21st century device, which I can't say about all wireless audio systems. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. And until next time, enjoy creating.